Hello YouTubers. So this is my Huck Rebel 2022. I took delivery of it on I think it was September 6th. I have about 80 miles on it. I now have it in pieces because I came into an issue where the rear caliper totally busted into pieces one day when I was riding home from the grocery store. I could tell that there was an issue with the rear brake. I had to pump it. Obviously there was something wrong, and then one day it just fell into pieces. So I contacted Huck Cycles, told them of the issue, and they said that it was my fault, that I must have hit it against something, which I did not. Like I said, I've only put 80 miles on it. So I was like, fine, I will go ahead and purchase the parts. The parts were, because, I don't know, they buy these all in full components. I had to buy the entire brake assembly. So that includes lever all the way down to the caliper. So I did that. Unfortunately, at the same time, I noticed that the rear rotor was out of true. So I told them I would need a new rear rotor, because I went to a local shop and they said there's no way you can possibly true a rear rotor. So I bought another rotor. That was another $100. Huck was good at sending me the parts quickly, but this is a brand new bike. It's less than a month old and it is in pieces. So there's a few problems that I've had with trying to replace all these parts. One is that being that it is a complete unit, so you have caliper as a complete line up to the lever. This is the new unit that I have somewhat installed loosely. There's a few issues with this. One is that you can't fit the lever through the forks and this plate that keeps all the electrical in place. You can't fit it through. So I'm doing a workaround on that. I guess I'm gonna have to fit it under the fork and then down and over. The other issue is, now that I have that in place, I have this. So there were a couple issues with this. One is that the screw that holds this rotor on, the screw right behind the power supply, was stripped, so that took a little bit to get off. But now I have to figure out how to get that actual rotor piece off, which runs through the frame. I assume that I'm gonna have to attach it into the battery box. I haven't really gotten into that yet. I'm more at the point where I need to get the rotor off. I guess there's a couple things. I mean, Huck sent me the parts, but they gave me no insight as to how difficult or complicated or what would have to be done to get this repair done. You know, I'm fairly handy, but this is not working out well. And two, it's a brand new bike. It's brand new, less than a month old, and this is how it's sitting in my garage. So I'm frustrated, especially since they would not take any even idea that it could have been their fault. They just basically said that, no, you must have done something to it, which I did not. I asked them about, I had this shipped via Haul Bikes, which took about 3 weeks, which, you know, I guess I expected. And that the rotor could have been damaged at that point. I guess what I'm saying is you need to kind of make sure that you do a good overhaul of your bike. There is one thing I noticed, if you can see on this side, I do have some rear panniers, and when I picked it up, the panniers were slightly bent. I asked Haul Bikes, like, you know, these panniers are bent, and they basically said that they come from the factory that way. And I was like, all right. I did notice that there was after I like pulled it away, I noticed that there was a slight hiss, like a sound. I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it kind of went away. When I talked to my local shop, they said that if the rotor is bent, it can actually cause stress on the caliper, and that could have caused the caliper to fail. I'm not sure. But once again, it's more of like, I don't know. I am okay with having to pay some stuff, but shoot, this is a brand new bike. So, Huck, I mean, you need to take care of your people. You need to make, I don't know, less than a month old. I should not have a bike that is in this condition in my garage. All right, thanks a lot.